Someone says, "What's the future?" Vaughn Coleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. What's going on? We're here. We got a special announcement tonight. This is something that I wanted to do for a while, and then I don't know if I ever mentioned it. I think you mentioned it to me one time. Like, oh, I was thinking of doing this. I'm like, oh my God, I've been wanting to do that. And so
oh my
here we
God.
are.
Yeah, it was exactly like that. You squawked and everything. It was pretty great.
Yeah. You read that through the message? You're like, oh, that's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically,
I read everything in the voice of someone's like actual voice.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what
when I read DMs, that's what I hear. Is like, oh my God, you guys!
Good to
I'm
know
really pumped to be doing stuff. Yeah.
That's how I come across. All right, cool. Yeah. Good to know. So this is a special announcement, and it's a collaboration between Allie and I, but it's not just going to be between us, but we are the heads of this. So I guess we'll go ahead and talk about it. So we have we're both writers, and we've done comics and stuff, but Allie has done books, right? You've done a couple. And
books without pictures, believe it or not.
Which is scary to think about. It's really scary.
That's part of the
scary
idea is that it's scary.
Yeah, the scariest thing about the book is that there are stories without.
Sweet, that means I have to do like way less work now that I know that.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah,
guys, buy my books. There's no pictures.
Oh yeah. If you want to give the link to your books, you can put that in the private chat and I'll share it in the chat too. But we are doing a short story collection, a scary, spooky short story collection called Reapers in Pursuit. Allie came up with that name, actually, and I love it. Dean James showing support, as always. Books with no pictures. That's a terrible idea.
My books usually don't have pictures, but this one can have pictures, but it's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Yeah, you can submit. So we'll go through everything, but Reapers in Pursuit is the name of the book. R.I.P. That was Allie came up with that. I know no one likes names I come up with usually. But Allie came up with a good one. I was like, let's go with it. I remember she gave me a list and I was like, what do you hate, Dean? What do you hate? Reapers in Pursuit? Or do you hate? This guy is a professional hater. That's all he does. Dude. All right. Well,
that's his appeal. That's what's so appealing about him, is that he's actively seething with hatred.
Coping and seething.
That's why he laughs at everything all the time. No coping.
Oh, no coping? Just seething?
No.
Just seething. So we're going to go ahead, and first thing we're going to do, now I have a really tacky looking mailing list page that I will definitely update. Right now it doesn't look good because I just whipped it up. But we have, this is an eyesore.
Oh God, it's so red. Fucking Jesus, shit.
Yeah, this could have been, I took like 5 minutes, maybe more than that. And I was like, yeah, I'll make it red because it's scary. But now that I'm looking at it, that's actually a very bad design. So I'm gonna fix this. But but the important thing, the important thing is that you can sign up for the mailing list here. So let's go ahead. If you're interested at all, you could sign up for the mailing list.
I feel like my eyes are bleeding.
All right, I will fix this. I will fix that. We're going to get that off the screen right away. All you have to do, you don't even have to look at the page much. All you have to do is just put in the email. You can close it. You never have to look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see the word.
Well, that's the sign-up page. I made the submissions page.
Which is legible and
doesn't feel like sandpaper scraping across your retinas. on purpose. I did that on purpose so that you could look at what you're doing instead of hating your life.
I could have done
what just
that.
happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, see, this is why it's a good partnership. I heard there was a special announcement. Congrats to Allie on adopting Vaughn. No, that is not what is happening.
I don't know. It's hard for me to think about adopting a child that's taller than me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I could tell it what to do.
It's?
Yeah.
It's?
Yeah.
I've been called worse, I guess. All right. So, Allie, why don't you go ahead and read what you wrote for the audience here?
Oh, but I wrote it.
All right. You want me to read it? Because I just feel like if I read it, you're going to be like, you're reading it wrong. I'll do it.
Then do it.
All right, fine.
so that I can enjoy tormenting you.
All right. You know what's the worst part is because the thing is the audience I know likes that. Well, Vaughn's gonna be raised by Allie and Dean. Is this Megatron?
No.
Yeah,
so I don't know if you know, but for Dean's book, The Embrace, number 2, if it hits 6 figures, I have told him that he can name his firstborn Megatron.
That's all. All
right. I will hold to that. Even if Elon Musk donates like one huge chunk and like that's it, and it's not a whole bunch, then I will still hold to that.
I am not. All right. Yes, YouTube Vaughn has to call me Big Daddy. That will never and I don't care if you literally have a gun to my head. I will still not call you that. I will die on principle.
Call him Big Papa.
In fact, I'm not even reading your next comment just to show my defiance.
Defiance. Defiant. Well, time to go.
I would rather die standing than live on my knees.
Go stand in the corner. Vaughn James.
Vaughn James.
Wow.
You should name the kid James.
James.
Megatron and James.
These are
and then Jamie James.
Ideas.
Jamie James. Jane James. Jenny James.
Don't get married ever, Vaughn.
All right.
Give it a shot. Let's see.
All right.
Let's see if you can read.
Reapers in Pursuit anthology submissions. Please read carefully. Submission guidelines. Short tales should be between 1,000 and 6,000 words in length. Poems of up to 50 lines.
Just don't count Vaughn's poem because that is
I wrote
cheating.
that years ago. Yeah. Artwork must be black and white line art. Genres. Any horror subgenre is accepted as long as it fits with the underlying theme of pursuit and inevitability. Deadline.
You know, I actually hate you reading my words more than I hate reading them. This is actually shocking. I'm speechless, really. This is new to me. This is a new feeling. You're right. Are you being cringe on purpose?
Would you like to take... All right, I'll try and be more serious. Would you like... All right, ready? Deadline. Valentine's Day. The scariest day of the year.
To some people, yeah.
Violent Comics says Valentine's Day. Yes. Richie Dupes. Good evening, young Vaughn of the Twink and Ali.
Ali, yes.
Of the Twink? What do you mean? Of? All right, whatever.
Just move on. Don't think about twinks.
Do you hear whispering in the darkness? The constant footsteps of something, someone approaching, pursuing, hunting. Perhaps it's the certainty of death, an invisible entity determined to collect what's owed. We urge you to explore these horrifying topics in our forthcoming horror anthology, R.I.P. Reapers in Pursuit. How was that?
Better.
Better?
It's better.
There we go.
You need to start challenging like Christopher Lee. Can you do that?
Challenging him?
I mean, not challenging, channeling.
Channeling him. I could do it. I think I got an idea. All right, see, we already have people with ideas in the chat. That's
Yay!
good. We are looking for entries of short tales, black and white line art, and poems that explore the unsettling concept represented by this title. What exactly does it mean to be followed by an unstoppable force, to flee from, or maybe even confront something that will not stop until it has had its due? The concept of a reaper.
Done its due. Why were you gonna say that?
Oh, I'm gonna. All right, I'll reread that line.
Okay.
To flee from, or maybe even confront, something that will not stop until it has had its due. The concept of a reaper, a collector, an avenger, or a sinister stalker can take many different shapes and interpretations. So, the theme of Reapers in Pursuit explores the idea of the unrelenting, the unavoidable, and the implications or denials of escape. However, we welcome you to elaborate on this topic as we extensively or narrowly as you choose. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. However, we welcome you to elaborate on this topic as extensively or narrowly as you choose. Your Reaper does not have to be the traditional figure wielding a scythe. It might be something completely else. It might be a supernatural being, a psychological power, or just an expression of guilt, fate, or karma. Maybe your narrative is about real death pursuing down.
Maybe. You started it all goofy.
All right, fine.
I mean, well, it was almost like a clown. That could be scary, I guess.
No. Oh, I'm a clown? Okay.
You're just like, maybe. Like,
Reaperverse? All right.
the Reaperverse. Nice. I love it. It's so derivative.
Yeah. How do we call it the Ripperverse?
Because it's already a thing, isn't it?
No, that's the Ripaverse. Completely different. It would be completely different. This one is a
Oh, yeah. We don't want that hard ER.
Maybe your narrative is about real death pursuing down those who strive to flee it. Or it may be something more metaphorical. People followed by their previous mistakes, tormented by their own regrets, or hunted by something they don't understand. This anthology welcomes a wide range of horror subgenres, including, but not limited to, psychological horror. What drives a person insane when chased by invisible forces? Supernatural horror. Spirits, demons, or otherworldly reapers are on the hunt for their next victim. Cosmic horror. What unknown beings pursue us across the vastness of space or the deep, dark recesses of reality? Body horror. Is the Reaper within a metamorphosis or illness that cannot be escaped? Survival horror. The physical pursuit with one person fleeing and the other hunting. Dark fantasy. Grim tales about a mythical Reaper hunting souls across realms or universes. I would like to take a moment to point out that some of these have a colon and some of these have a dash. This is inconsistent. Just thought you should know that.
I did that on purpose to bother you.
Yeah, well, I think you're lying. I think it was a genuine mistake that you're not owning up to.
What's a mistake?
All right, here we go with this shit. Whether you 18 years, why is Vaughn like this?
See, I told Dean, I was like, I'm gonna be nice. I'm usually not. I usually kind of pick on you from the chat, but I was like, I have to be nice and I'm gonna be chill and cool. But like it's funny because I don't even have to do anything. Like you're just kind of doing all the work for me.
What do you mean? I'm just reading what you wrote and and that's it, man. You know, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean?
Well, whether you choose to write about real death knocking on the door or a more abstract meaning of pursuit, your tale should elicit anxiety, suspense, and a sense of the unavoidable. And someone said, Violent Comics said, does the horror story have to be about Valentine's Day? I'm sure it was difficult to focus because it was so goofy, but no, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. Because it's just supposed to be about pursuit in some way, inevitability, as it were. I don't know about Vaughn, but I have scribbled some ideas to talk about that will sort of illustrate what I mean. But we have this cool little form here that makes it super easy. All you do is fill it out, submit your thing. You can submit up to 10 things at a time of a short story, a poem, or artwork. Just make sure it's black and white. Black and white. And yeah, we don't have a cap, no cap, as the kids say, to how many things that we can do, but we're going to put it in an anthology and then, publish that out into the world to scare you right out of your pants.
Exactly. If your pants are still on when you read this, I don't know what I was going to say. But your pants will be scared off.
Well, I was quoting a movie, and then you got weird with it. This is.
I wasn't trying to be weird. I was gonna think like if your pants are scared off, then I couldn't think of what to say. So.
Yeah, I was there. It just happened.
All right, I just just in case. All right. Anyway, moving on. Oh wait, by the way, so Allie and I are deciding on everything. We're going to be the editors of this project, and we're going to be the ones that are like, aha, this is submissions, and we got to go through everything. So just know if you're submitting to us, and you're at our mercy essentially.
I have no mercy when it comes to editing people's stuff. Narwhal.
Have you edited his stuff?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Hopefully he submits.
And it's still one of the worst days of my life.
Checkbox if you understand. We maintain exclusive rights to printing of the anthology in its full form. Each contributor maintains rights to their individual work. Each contributor will receive a comp copy of the book and a to-be-determined percentage of sales in the initial crowdfund after fees, printing, shipping, editing, and formatting costs. So if you want money, you gotta promote this book, this campaign when it goes live after Valentine's Day at some point. We'll figure it out. We get the book, all the stuff in order. Then we raise the money to make the dang thing. So,
well, if you know writers and artists, spread the word to whomever you know, because we're not just limiting this to people who already have something out there. Like, this is open to all, open call for anybody.
Yeah.
To put in anything as long as it fits like the theme of that. And if you want to, you probably should go and read the theme yourself in your own voice. I'm gonna issue an apology for that, but yeah. Soul hunting.
I'm sorry that some people don't appreciate good art. That's all I'm sorry for.
My version of Skeleton Crew? No, it was just Nightmare Before Christmas. New Blood should take advantage of this opportunity because
yeah,
I'm sure Vaughn's done some stuff too, but I've published my own books, but I've also been in other anthologies. This will be the first one that I've been, in charge of in any capacity myself. But the other ones that I've been a part of have definitely, I feel, given me the experience to sort of feel out what works and what doesn't work. Vaughn is very like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing now? So he's much more organized in that area than I am, because I'm just like, I don't know, we're just gonna do stuff.
Yeah. Well, I just came off of, creating, so it was like I had to think this, like basically set everything up so that way we could just have fun with it. That was my thing. And I think
Vinny over here is being like super don't read it
why,
out
that's
loud.
why I was just ignoring it, Allie.
He's being super like edgy over here, Mr. Edgelord, Vinny the Edgelord.
But yeah, this
edging
is gonna
YouTube.
Edging YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but this is something that like I thought was really fun. I literally just finished. I was like, I want to finish writing the first story arc for Phenomenova. And I was like, perfect. I want to get into the next thing. And it was spooky season. I'm like, I want to get back. I wrote a short story after college that I really liked, that I wanted to do something with. And I've just been sitting on for like years. And I was like, and there's this poem I've been sitting on for years. And I was like, this is perfect. And then it's like, I wanted to write more prose stuff, so this is really a great opportunity for me, and I like extending it to other people too. I think overall this is just a great opportunity, and you guys get to work with us. I mean, how awesome is that? That's incredible. You should be honored.
Will you read Shifty's comment?
Of course. Can we write a scary story about meme ilk hers? What does that mean?
In your face, Shifty. So say it faster.
Can we write a scary story about meme milkers? Oh.
What's up, Maromi?
You can body horror, dude. You could do crazy stuff with that.
Yes, you can absolutely get your mommy issues out in prose form or poem form. Even in some great line art, as long as it's not too weird. But that comment there, by the way, that's a part of my channel lore that is seeping over into yours. What's up,
I'm
LE?
gonna use that. What's up, LE? How you doing? You guys got a snazzy new name. LE, you might like this. So this is so we might have to, because it looks like people are still rolling in. Basically, this is your chance.
Off of that thing that's right there. Go back up, because you're on the boring part of it. Nobody cares about that.
All right. Well, here we go. Reapers in Pursuit. This is our anthology.
Don't read the whole thing again.
I'm not reading the. What part? Basically, this is a short story anthology. The theme is Reapers in Pursuit. If you want to submit a short story to write, you can do it. But it's writing and art, and they're separate. It's not comics. Not at all.
Basically, write a horror story or use a horror story you have already written about stalking or the inevitability of death. Or Vaughn keeps talking about how excited he is about writing from the point of view of like a Reaper, as though that hasn't ever been done before.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said, like, let's make sure that's a possibility. I'm not even sure if I'm doing that.
Okay. Well, get an AI reader? No, thank you. How many pages?
I'm better.
So for a short story, under 6,000 pages or under 6,000 words, which I believe is 8 to 10 pages in 12 point. Don't quote me on that. And then 50 lines of poetry ish. If it's not too much over, there's room to play. And then any black and white line art. My personal favorite for black and white line art is always going to be Bernie Wrightson. But obviously, no one can be him. So as long as it's, scary and fits the Reapers in Pursuit kind of thing. And if this does well, we want to do further RIP books. So get in on this first one, like, because it'll be a household name for sure, like Goosebumps or
Yeah,
Cheese.
I would love to keep doing this. Already I have like so many ideas on the list, and I keep writing more. So I'm really excited.
Does Vaughn even know how to write poems? He says he does, but he hasn't
I
shown it
wrote
to
a
me
really
yet.
good one. Well, I'll send it to you. I'll happily send
Don't
you.
read it. Just don't read it out loud right now. Don't do that.
I wasn't going to because I want people to buy the book.
Good.
And
Explain the
because
Reapers. The story should be able. No, well, if you mean about, no, it doesn't have to be about like
no, it doesn't have to.
death.
Yeah.
It's just I wanted to have that as part of the name because of the overall feel that the concept gives,
Yeah.
where it's like this is the end result, the inevitability, and I I expand upon it in this little thing, so you can go and periodically check back in if you can't remember. But it's basically just what is the inevitable, what is chasing you. It could be madness, or just whatever is creeping upon you in some way. That's sort of the idea, like what is stalking after you or someone. It doesn't have to be in first person. Basically, it's pretty open, but I want to keep the theme of this because the idea that something is coming after you or coming after someone is often, even if it doesn't get you, is often more terrifying than a jump scare, right? Like knowing
Always.
something's gonna happen. When I go to a haunted house, I am a nervous wreck. Even if I can, and usually you can see the person in front of you get scared. I'm twice as scared easily, if not more, when I can see the person pop out and scare the person in front of me, because I'm like, oh god, it's gonna happen to me next. Like it, it's very scary. So the Master Hobo says poverty chases me constantly, and that could be scary too, man. The not knowing and the knowing. Does that make sense, Violent Comics?
Yes, let us know if that makes sense. Yeah, honestly, it was like she came up with the name. We were coming up with names, and that one just shows like because it's very like the stories I had. Both I'm like, yeah, both of them just happen to fit that well because it really, even though they're not neither of what I've written, none of what I've came up with so far has Reapers involved, but it still works because it fits the theme and it fits the feeling. And I just realized I have so many ideas that none of them so far that I've come up with really are Reaper related. And they all, I'm not saying I won't write about something Reaper related, but they all fit.
And my main one is madness more than Reaper. So
yeah, like kind of the madness that is induced. This is prose. How about a poem? Yeah, poems. Absolutely, you can do poems. Like all the stuff is on there. I just linked it at the top. The anticipation is more terrifying. Explain more of the theme. What more?
I don't know how much more we can expand unless we kind of talk about what I wanted to talk about was some of our favorite stuff about that, so that we can kind of get more of an idea of what we mean. And also, before we do that, though, I want to apologize to the world for the terrible promo spot that I did today. I was like, so you did one that was like really friendly and fast and natural, and I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna say a thing too, and my brain turned off. I don't know, it was like I'd never been in front of a camera before in my life, and I started like hyperventilating, plus it was really bright out, and I was just like, come watch our thing, like It was so stupid and awkward, and I watched it, and I didn't feel like doing it, so it's there, and I apologize to the world for
It's okay.
the thing that happened. I don't think I'm gonna try and promo the same way that you do now that I have tried and failed pretty heavily. But I almost put
It
on
was
my
charming.
blonde wig.
You're blonde.
I almost put on my blonde wig, and I was gonna do like a whole like thing, but then I didn't.
What is that? What is
worse.
that thing? What is that?
That's your voice.
That is not what I sound like. What's up, guys? Von Coleman here, back again with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about the horror book we're doing. You know what? I'm gonna go high energy with my video promoting it tomorrow. I'll be like, "What's going on, guys? It's your boy Von Coleman here."
It's your boy. Whoa.
It's your boy.
What's going on, bros? It's your boy, Allie.
It's your
we're
boy.
Talking about stuff and things. Books without pictures. I don't know. I can't be high energy. It just doesn't work for me.
Sometimes
it makes me tired thinking about being high energy. I'm literally ready for a nap now.
There are times when I'm like have to make these shorts where I'm like, dude, I don't want to do this, but I'm trying to commit to one every day. And there are times where I'll walk around for like an hour waiting to get it, and then I'm finally like, yeah. But then there's times I'll do
Brian.
10 back to back. What's up, Brian? The anticipation is more terrifying.
Dude,
what's going on, Brian?
I have 4 unboxing videos that are like under 2 minutes long that I was gonna upload 3 months ago, and I still haven't. So, it amazes me when people can do 10 shorts all at once, because that just, yeah, I'm done. Good night, everybody. Stream's over, because thinking about that makes me tired.
Ryan, how you doing? I hope you submit to this short horror story collection. Of course, it's in the video description. It is also in the chat. There's the mailing list. Just sign up. You don't even have to look at that garish page that I made. What's going on? Time scales. Yeah, we still got more people in, but yeah, this is it. You guys get to submit your stories, and we get to. Well, Allie probably has more stories ready to go than I do. I actually have to do some work. And write. So which is good. It's actually exciting that I get to write like this again, because I've been writing mostly superhero stuff for a while. And it's funny, the first screenplay I ever wrote was a slasher movie. So it's kind of going to be fun coming back to the horror genre that I love so much.
That's not the one about looking outside, is it?
No. That was a good one. That was my short film. If you guys haven't seen it. Yeah, Brian, I know you're a horror movie guy. Yeah, I love horror. So I guess we'll talk about some of my favorite. Yeah, if you haven't seen that short film, by the way, check it out.
It is definitely one of the things ever made.
You weren't crazy about it?
I think that there are things you could have done better, but you said you made it like 15 years ago or something. So
it was not 50. It was like, well, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I would have been.
It was better. It was better than you as the dead guy or whatever.
Okay, that's good to know. You went through my whole archive. Wow, incredible.
No, I just watched those 2.
Okay, you went through a small portion of my archive.
I watched 2. Don't get excited, okay?
No, I mean, I'm there. Listen, if you should see my oldest videos. Actually, you shouldn't see my oldest videos. Probably bad for your health, honestly. Probably bad. Yeah, I think so greetings from San Fran. What's going on? So can you read
San Francisco? That's true horror. Like walking down the street has got to be just really scary. You're like, oh great, I got Ebola now. Awesome.
Yeah, you could. Well, here's the thing. These are just examples that Allie listed, but you could really do any type of horror. I'm trying to think of like you could do a slasher. Ooh, that could be fun. You could do why am I blanking? Like creature feature.
A slasher would go under survival horror.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like all the subgenres I'm thinking of fall What would Saw be?
Body horror and or psychological, depending on what is happening.
Hot
Like
take,
both.
I thought that movie was very overrated.
The first one?
Yeah. I thought it was boring.
Well, a big part of why the first, and I've only seen 1 and 2 and 10.
Mhm.
But a big part of why, and I know you were like 3 years old when that movie came out.
Let's see.
A big part of why it was such a big deal was because it was so low budget and the ending was quite shocking.
Yeah.
Literally no one saw it coming.
Yeah.
And
I guess I knew
in
it going in.
theaters,
So I probably didn't.
oh no, in theaters, like people were audibly like, "Whoa!" Like it was pretty crazy at the time. So and I was just like leaving college, so it was one of the first like horror movies that I went and saw in like theaters. And it was quite a big deal. It was almost like a similar thing to what happened with the Blair Witch Project, which I realized was probably made before you were born.
It was the same. Hang on, let me see. Let me check the month because came out in my birth year. So let's see. It came out. Let's see if it was before or after I was born. Oh, it came out. Hey, I'm 3 days older than the Blair Witch Project. Let's go.
3 whole days older. Nice.
July
Conceived.
30th. It was when it came out. I was born July 27th. So I was 3 days older than the Blair Witch Project. Fun fact. You learn something new every day.
July 27th.
Yeah.
That was gonna be my birthday.
Really? Did you know I was like a month late?
I was 2 weeks late.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I guess sometimes.
Yeah, that is good because I don't want to share my birthday with you. That's my birthday.
You can have it. Mine's probably better than yours.
Have it. 8687 up in here. Best birthday ever. It's also Mo Biggs' birthday. It's
Nice.
also the anniversary of Hiroshima. You're welcome, Japan.
Wow. I got my ticket for Terrifier 3. Let me know how that is. I like the first 2 Terrifiers, but they're like, even for me, because I like
people were saying that people were leaving throwing up. I haven't seen the other 2. I watched a review.
I'm gonna tell you right now, as someone who loves slashes and everything, there are deaths that cross the line for me where I'm like, holy God, like that are too much.
In the review, from what I saw, it seemed like it was just meant to be like shocking, and that's it. Like, there's not a lot to it. It seems.
I see. All right, so I watched Terrifier 2 at a film festival, and I really liked it. Although there was one death in specific where I'm like, holy shit. I saw it like at a film festival. It was a big screen, and I was like, it is the most brutal death scene I have ever seen.
Is it the one of the chick where it cuts down like right in between?
No, that's the first one, which I watched later, which that is up there too. That one I do not like either. But it seems but Terrifier.
No, you're like really big into women's rights, so that makes sense.
I'm not. I just don't like them being sawed in half from that way.
That's just crazy. You're such a feminist.
For now, okay. But the first one I watched afterward, and because Terrifier 2 I still think is one of the best slasher movies I've ever seen. Like, I think it's amazing. I think it has one of the best final girls ever. It's so epic and crazy over the top. And there's stuff was like, what? And then I watched the first one and I was like, that was okay. I don't think the first one's that good of a movie. I think it's like, whoa, it's shocking. But I don't think it's actually a good movie. It's like, oh, look how wacky we are. Okay.
That's kind of like how I felt about Hostel, where people were like, oh my gosh, it's so insane and well done. And I was like, yeah, I guess the effects are cool, but this isn't a good movie. It was kind of like similar to how I felt about the Monsters movie that Rob Zombie made. That's also not good.
I haven't seen either of those. I haven't seen Hostel. I haven't seen any of Rob Zombie's movies.
You can skip all of Rob Zombie's movies. And I say that as someone who actually kind of enjoys House of a Thousand Corpses, which is better than Devil's Rejects. I like that one, but the thing is, he's a terrible director. Just god awful, not good.
From what I've seen of his Halloween, it looks very bad. Confession time. I thought the Blair Witch Project was fucking boring. I thought it was so boring. And then the ending, the ending, everyone's like, it's the scariest thing ever. What? She's looking at the corner of the room and goes, ah! And that's it?
The thing about the Blair Witch Project that you're not going to understand, it's going to be similar to why you probably don't understand The Ring and why that's scary.
I haven't seen The Ring yet. I've heard it's good. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I just had a heart attack inside my brain. No, so the thing about Blair Witch Project is it's very much a product of its time, which means VHS tapes. It was the very first, like, as far as I know, the very first found footage horror film. And it was like shocking to people. And a big, speaking of like being chased and pursued, a big thing about it is the anticipation and the unknown. And if you've never owned like a VHS camera, one of these freaking honking huge giant things and done that whole thing, then you're not really going to be afraid of that movie. But it was so iconic and scary to my generation, that when I think I was 11 when it came out. And when I was 12, my friends and I did our own version of the Blair Witch Project, and I still have it. And I wanted to like kind of edit it so it makes more sense and put it out, because it's way more silly, like, because we were 12-year-old girls who were dumb. But I'm the bad guy in it, like I'm the monster at the end. So
I gotta see this.
It's kind of silly, but like if you never had the VHS kind of thing growing up, then you're not gonna get it. You're gonna be like, what is so scary about this? It's boring. And the same with The Ring. Like my kids saw The Ring, and that was the scariest movie that I've still ever seen in my whole life. That movie scared me for 2 weeks after I saw it when I was 17. I was terrified, but my kid saw it and was like, why is this scary? And it's because basically she doesn't have the same experience with telephones. Like that's literally it.
Okay.
Not even you have the same experience with telephones. Like maybe your mom had a house phone, but it's such a different generational thing that I think that can explain why things like Blair Witch Project and The Ring aren't going to be scary to you. Gotcha. But it was scary to us. Like kind of the same way, if you watch The Exorcist, which was called the scariest movie of all time when it came out, but if you watch it now, today is much less of a religious environment than it was, way back when it came out. And so people in small towns and stuff, my mom, my grandma, like to them, this was real. Like this could happen to your neighbor. And that's part of why it was so scary. The other part was that it was shocking and the effects were really intense. And, it's a little girl. But the rest of it is like everyone, for the most part, believed that was real and could happen. So it's all, not all, but like a lot of it's a product of its time. Even Scream.
Scream I think is awesome. I love Scream.
Yeah, but even that's a little bit a product of its time, right? Because it relies on the phone, that very specific type of phone. With a cell phone, that movie, I mean, I've only seen the first one, I believe. But with a cell phone, that movie doesn't really work. Because with a house phone, there were hacks, basically, that you could type in where it would block your number, or you could auto call people back. Well, there's not so much that now.
Well, it doesn't. That doesn't affect the movie because it's set during a time period where that's. So you're still in the scene going, "Oh my god, how are they going to get out of this?" It's just like if I see a movie set during a time where they don't have a cure for a disease and a character is dying, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, well, they have a cure for that now." I'd still be like, "Oh my god, this character is going to die from this disease," So I don't know. I feel like it still works. Someone said, by the way, Cannibal Holocaust, that was a movie I turned off. My friends never watching that. And it gets to the rock scene very early on, and I was like, I don't feel like watching this.
I haven't seen it.
It was apparently they had people had to go to court and testify that they were still alive.
Jolly says I'm ruining your love for Scream. I don't want to ruin your love
I
for
love
Scream.
Scream.
I like Scream. I really so maybe I shouldn't get into it, but Skeet Ulrich is a huge part of why I will watch Scream. It's a movie for chicks, I gotta say.
Hang on, there's some good looking chicks in that movie. Now, none of them hold a candle to the love of my life, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I could see you liking Drew Barrymore. I could see her being like your dream woman.
Well, no, my dream woman is in a film by that same writer called "I Know What You Did Last Summer." Now, have you seen this film? Stars my wife.
I saw it once.
I think it's very underrated.
Ago.
But it does.
My favorite thing about "I Know What You Did Last Summer" is
there we go. That's my girl. That's my girl right there, Jennifer Love Hewitt. What a woman!
In the movie, Scary Movie. That's my favorite part about "I Know What You Did Last Summer" because the dumb bitch, they hit a person with their car, and the dumb bitch holds up a boot, and she's like, "We hit a boot." And there's a guy dying. That's my favorite part about that movie, and it's not even in that movie.
Sarah Michelle
Ellie says Skeet Ulrich, dude. You guys don't even understand. Like in the 90s, if you got like a guy with a little bit of hair in his eyes, and then he's just like staring at you, I
can't do it. I cut my hair.
It's not gonna work with you.
No, I know. I'm saying I was trying to give a visual. I know it's like
no, like Devin Sawa, Skeet Ulrich,
yes.
Like it was all this look where it's like, he's a little bit messy, and yeah. So
he's not like other boys.
Part of that. He's not like other boys.
See, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
He doesn't shower every day, and he doesn't brush his hair with a comb. He brushes his hair with his fingers, like.
Yeah,
it's all very.
Yeah, he's whatever. Jennifer Love Hewitt, hot, and the girl next door look. She's the whole thing. She's got the shy, but she's also hot. I like that.
I think that who's the little girl that was married to Tom Cruise?
Well, Katie Holmes.
Katie Holmes. I think she's much more attractive than Jennifer Love Hewitt. I think Jennifer Love Hewitt is too angular. She's like too long and angular.
No.
Katie Holmes is adorable.
Katie Holmes is not better
in the movie.
Than Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Not Dangerous Minds. She was in some movie, I forget what it's called, that has a really kick-ass soundtrack. Fairuza Balk, says Brian Kryscout. Now, I think Fairuza should have been cast as Harley Quinn in a live action. That's my hot take. I don't want to ever see Harley Quinn in anything live action again, unless it's Fairuza Balk.
Who's that?
Have you seen Waterboy?
I actually haven't.
What about
right, Allie? I just prove how insane you are. I put who's hot in the chat: Jennifer Love Hewitt or Katie Holmes. Watch, everyone's gonna side with your boy here. It's gonna be a landslide victory.
Disturbing Behavior. Thank you, Jolly. That's a really good, little known, scary movie that everyone should watch. That's pretty good. What am I? Oh, Fairuza Balk was also in The Craft. Have you seen The Craft?
The Craft. I have not. I haven't been watching a lot of movies lately. I used to watch all the time.
I mean, these are all movies that were made when you were a baby, so I'm not really surprised.
Actually, this movie is actually older than me. Oh, Perusa's hang on. Balk she was in American History X.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, she's the like racist girlfriend.
Yeah.
But she's got like this crazy look, you know, and if you've seen something like The Craft, you know that she's got this smile and she can act like a psycho, but she has like this weird appeal, as you can tell. I think that she should have been Harley Quinn, absolutely. I don't think that they've done a good job with that at all, especially now that I've seen Lady Gaga.
Who voted for Katie Holmes over Jennifer Love Hewitt? Out yourself. Ridiculous.
I didn't vote.
Who did this?
So it wasn't me.
No disrespect to Katie Holmes, but Katie Holmes.
How does Katie Holmes look manly? I think Jennifer Love Hewitt looks more manly.
Oh, you better take that back.
No.
You better take. All right, hang on. The Craft. See this movie. Right. This movie. I can't help it. This is a lot of goth girl movies. It looks like you would be part of this friend group. You know, I could see you fitting in with them.
They're not goths. That's their school uniform.
But this girl isn't goth. She's got a choker on. This girl's absolutely goth.
Yes, choker equals goth.
This girl pictured goth, here is not. Come on.
I guess she could be, but the other girls aren't. They're just like, and then what they're wearing is their school uniform.
Dude, there are so many guys that would let a girl like this just destroy their life, and it's like, shame on you, fellas.
Yeah, I know, and that's part of why Harley Quinn would be a good fit for her.
She would. She'd have to dye her hair, for comic accuracy, but it would work. She'd be great casting.
I mean, animated series accuracy.
Yeah. Well, I know, but you're right. She did a Fierce Spirit in the animated series. Yeah. Barbara Steele blows all these chicks away. She is the goth chick of all time. Barbara Steele. Let's see. Barbara Steele.
That's a much older reference. That's quite old.
Wow.
She's yeah, I've got some black and white GIFs of her that I've used on Twitter a few times.
I have not seen any of the movies with her, but
I don't know this for sure, but I think some of her stuff was the inspiration for Lydia's look in Beetlejuice. Sometimes she has like the bangs like that. And she's like, do you not feel the joy of hating or something? She's pretty good. That's Brian's waifu.
Nice, incredible. All right, so yours is Skeet. Mine is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No, for women, mine is Katie Holmes.
You're crazy. Of all the women on earth, Katie Holmes.
She's adorable. And she was recently in a really good movie about her like becoming a serial vigilante murderer. It was super cute. She's adorable.
I've only seen The Dark Knight with her in it. Or the Batman Begins is the one she's in. Oh, she was in Logan Lucky? I forget who she in Logan Lucky. I've seen that.
I don't know. I've never seen it. Dark Knight is not her best movie. Yeah. She's like barely in it. Like
she's not in The Dark Knight.
And she was old by then. She was older. I mean, like when she was younger and adorable. In the 90s when they were like, women aren't allowed to wear bras in movies.
That was this is why I was born in the wrong generation. Look what they took from us.
For American Psycho 2. I don't think that she was in that. I think that was that girl from that 70s show that was like married to Ashton Kutcher.
Mila Kunis? This movie looks like ass.
She did American Psycho 2.
Yeah, I never watched it. American Psycho 2. I heard it's very bad.
I didn't watch it either.
It's directed by Morgan J. Freeman, who is a white guy.
Yeah, that sounds like he needs to pay some reparations for that.
For having the same name as another.
I'm sorry, Shifty. It wasn't on my channel this time. Brian has framed autographed pics of Barbara Steele all over his crib.
Wow.
Congratulations.
See, I don't have anything of Jennifer Love Hewitt. She does. I don't need any pictures of her. You know what I mean. But yeah. So okay. Anyway, this looks so good. So, what are your favorite horror stories or horror movies? I guess mine is Halloween. Is my favorite.
Oh, horror movies?
Then we'll go into stories too.
I don't. So I haven't seen actually very many. Most of the classics I have not seen. But I do really like Child's Play, like the original Child's Play.
One of my favorites.
His name just went right out of my brain.
What? What about?
What? He's got a weird name, and he was in like Lord of the Rings and
Oh
Dune
yeah. Hang on, Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif. Thank you. I don't know why my brain turned off.
Love that guy.
He's so crazy talented.
Mm-hmm.
Just effortlessly, like it feels effortless. Oh, he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well, and his character actually makes me cry, but that's neither here nor there.
I actually haven't seen that one yet.
It's so good, classic. He was Dune. Okay. Child's Play. So that one has a lot of pursuit, but really, I don't think I would like it if it wasn't him. And part of that is because of his vocal performance. It's mostly his vocally performing. But the concept of that is very terrifying too, right? So, and I don't even, I haven't seen very many, like I said, and I was quite late to seeing it. I think I was 22 or something, because I wasn't allowed to see scary movies as a kid.
I wasn't allowed to see a lot either. Also, but Child's Play traumatized me. Even just the cover of the movie. I didn't even see the movie until I was much older. The cover alone traumatized me. It just what Chucky
I didn't actually see Child's Play until after I had already seen Bride of Chucky.
I saw the cover for Bride of Chucky, and that terrified me. Or maybe it was Seated Chucky. It might have been Seated Chucky. One of them.
Well, Bride of Chucky is way more of a comedy than Child's Play. By then,
I know, I haven't seen it yet.
They had leaned into the like absurd comic part of it way more. But it's its own thing. I don't know. People like that big-breasted chick a lot with the weird voice for some reason.
Oh, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. There was a weird noise outside.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so Child's Play I saw after I saw Bride of Chucky, and it kind of shocked me because of how not funny it is. It is not a comedy in the slightest.
No.
There's stuff that like he thinks is funny because he's like a psycho. But the concept I just think is super cool, and I kind of wish that they had not made any more, honestly. Even though I guess Bride of Chucky is like a classic now. I kind of wish it was just Child's Play. And I even did the last year they had Chucky or a Child's Play haunted house at Universal Horror Nights. And it was probably one of the worst haunted houses I've ever been in my life. Especially at Universal. It was, and I don't know what it is, but I didn't really like all the cursing that he did. Maybe that's just a personal thing, but it just felt too overdone.
With the Chucky Universal, was injection there or something?
It for Horror Nights, they every year they have haunted houses, and like so they're all different themes. And last year they had one that was themed from that Chucky TV show. Where what's his Luke Skywalker had done
Mark
his
Hamill?
voice.
Oh yeah, that was the
Yeah.
new movie. The TV I think is a continuation. But
yeah, it was not good. It was pretty terrible, especially since most of the Chucky stuff was on a TV screen, and when you're walking through a haunted house and all the scary stuff is just on TV, you're kind of just like, oh no, you know, like I don't know. It was not very fun.
That sucks. Mark Hamill, when they announced him, it was like, no, Brad Dourif is Chucky to me. Like Brad Dourif will always be, like he's so perfect. And I think the first Child's Play, I think the first two are the two best ones. I haven't seen Bride or Seed, but I've seen Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. I personally think Cult of Chucky I thought was okay. I didn't think it was amazing. I liked Curse better, but I think that the first one, what did I like? I liked, yeah, because I never saw 4. I skipped over 4 and 5. I should have just watched all of them because they just seemed too goofy to me. I liked the first 2 because they were the right amount. They were mostly horror. One of the things I really liked about the first one is they really played with the idea that it's such an absurd premise that no one would believe the kid. Yeah. And the kid's acting was really good. Like you could tell the kids, like, I feel like they must have traumatized the kid to get those reactions out of him.
You know, the funny thing is most of the stuff that the kid saw is not what we saw. And if you re-watch it carefully, you can tell. Some of it is, but like for scary movies with kids, a lot of it is like clever cutting.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I know the chick from The Exorcist was quite broken, but I don't think that kid has ever said he was really traumatized. Because number one, he was quite small. He was very little. So I don't think he remembers too much of it. But they went to great pains. I think I saw this somewhere. But they went to great pains to kind of make it less intense for a little kid, you know? And it wasn't just like act scared, you know. He obviously did a good job doing that. And it's up or down with child actors usually. But he did a really good job. Like I believed that he was scared. I believed he thought his life was in danger.
Yeah,
my phone just went off. I think so. I'm trying to adopt this cat that might be a stray. And I think it's on my camera. So I'm gonna look.
I never watched
that was the
Chucky
noise
show.
that just happened.
I wonder if the Chucky show's any good. I never watched it.
I don't want to watch it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I saw the new remake and I didn't enjoy it. But I did think so right in the beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the remake, they're like driving away and that chick shoots herself in the head because they're going to turn around and she doesn't want to go back. And then the cop comes up, like they pull over or something and this cop comes up and he like looks up her skirt. And I remember I saw that in theaters and I just laughed out loud because it was so stupid. Like, because he's just like, oh, she's still wet under there or something. And I was like, ew, like, what the fuck? And I laughed out loud. Yeah. But that's the only thing I remember. I didn't really enjoy
the first. I've never seen the remake. I like the first one. Yeah, Child's Play is the only horror franchise where entry is written. I didn't know that. So that's interesting. All right, so maybe I need to watch 4 and 5. I had no idea they were all written by the same guy. See, as a writer, I need to pay more attention to screenwriters as a screenwriter. It's crazy. I didn't know. All right, so I'm gonna have to watch 4 and 5. I'll make that a priority. But
Ghost
Child's
Ship
Play
is
1
the
and 2.
worst Dark Castle horror movie. It's that bad. Then again, Ghost Ship. I was so excited for Ghost Ship because the thing that I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
but the thing that looked so cool was they showed this whole beginning scene where they're on this ship and like some rigging like messes up or something and it slices through like an entire ship of people right through the middle except this one little girl because she's too short and she watches as everyone around her literally falls in half.
Ooh.
and it was so cool. And so you're like, cool, we're gonna go watch this crazy movie. And then the rest of it is like an hour of just sheer boredom. It was so disappointing. And now the first 5 minutes of that movie are the best part of that movie. I would just turn it off. Like that's what I would see. I liked Gothica. You know, a funny story about Gothica. I saw that in theaters when I was like 16. And that's got Halle Berry in it and a couple other people. But when we were in theaters, it was one of those movies where they messed up in editing. So you're watching it and there's this really intense part where the two female characters who are like being tormented are staring at each other across this table, you know, and it's really intense. And you're like, you're leaning in and you're like, what is happening? And then the boom was lowered, right? Like the boom mic like keeps popping in over and over again.
Really? I didn't know.
While they're
in Gothica?
Yes.
Okay,
but
I'll have to look at it.
It was edited out for the DVD releases. Like you can't see it anymore. But I swear it was so funny in theaters because the boom mic just keeps popping in, and because it was such an intense part of the movie, everyone in the whole theater started laughing, and I will never forget that. It was so funny. You probably can't find a copy of it like that because I was like excited to get the DVD, and I was telling everyone, I was like, the boom mic pops in. But what happened is probably they
Someone
noticed
caught
it and then edited it. Well, everyone must have seen it. It wasn't spliced in correctly. It was just straight up like the mic kept popping in to the shot. It was hilarious. It was like a straight up fuzzy gray boom mic. It was so funny. The rest of that movie is crazy, but I will never forget. We were just laughing our butts off. Because that was also the only reason I was seeing that movie was because it was when my Mets out uncle had kidnapped my cousin and I, and he decided to take us to a movie, and that's what he showed us.
Damn.
Cropped it out. Yep. So yeah, but I had prepared like scary books to talk about because I was like, we're making a book anthology. And then you're just like, let's talk about movies.
This is where you'll notice my knowledge significantly drops off.
Yeah, I know you don't read.
I need to more.
I need two more.
But I do love I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison is what inspired me to write my first short horror story. Like first good short horror story, because obviously I'd write stuff when I was little. Like, you know, because that story was written in one night, in a fit of passion. It's one of the most iconic horror stories ever written. So that one definitely has an impact on me. There were some other short ones I read for school. I know I need to read more. But who are some of your favorites, or what are some of your favorites?
So by far, I think that Frankenstein is the greatest horror ever made, ever written.
It's a good one.
That
fits with our theme too.
Yes, exactly. And definitely a contender for just greatest literature, period. Despite being written by a woman. What?
Despite being written by a woman. Oh my.
So I am epileptic, everyone knows. So I feel like I have a special like relationship with that kind of concept in particular, even though the book is much less about electricity than it is about like creation, but it's also psychological rather than physical. So it's definitely like a masterwork, especially for such a young girl. And part of why it's so good is because she was quite tormented herself by being raised by like weird feminist sex fiends.
I didn't know that. Mary Shelley?
Yes.
I had no idea.
And she was tormented by the fact that her husband left his wife and children for her, and then she had and then went crazy, and then she had miscarriages as well, and that was part of the creation of Frankenstein. It's not just, oh, we're gonna have a contest. Like it's all about her whole life being raised by her dad was one of the earliest feminists. And if you read it in that context, you can kind of see like she's in a lot of pain from the weird ideals that even that early feminism was teaching. But also just in general, for horror, it's really good because, you know, it includes the concept of hubris, playing God, and then, like you said, it fits in our theme because the monster does have a persistent hunt of Dr. Frankenstein, and there's no escape from him physically or psychologically, right? Because psychologically, there's shame, there's remorse, there's obligation. Um, so, and reading it for me personally, it's you kind of I kind of feel like there's a pursuit in my life, not by a real entity, but like by my own body, my own limits.
Mhm.
It's I hate symbolism and I hate metaphors, but I can kind of feel it because it's like my body is that monster that's hovering and ready to strike at any time. So I can understand the anxiety and the attempt to flee, combined with the like repose of nature, because a lot of that book is descriptions of the countryside, and you know, he's laying in a boat looking at the mountains, and a lot of times people think that that kind of thing is boring, but the way that she writes it, it's just very full and beautiful and you can feel it. But anyway, more about the hunt of the doctor. It's like brilliantly fierce. So Frankenstein, the doctor, he's doomed the minute that he gives his creation life.
Mhm.
Um,
Right.
and he realizes it the minute he does it. So and originally, the monster is an innocent, and he's abandoned, you know, sent away, and that begins the reflection of the doctor's mistakes.
Mhm.
And then, you know, the creature starts that hunt, you know, that unrelenting hunt. But and then it, as the experiment goes on, they both know that the results that occurs could be the only one, even though Dr. Dr. Frankenstein isolates himself. He tries to run into the like the forest. He tries to, you know, get married and deny the duty that he has to this, you know, offspring, basically, um, which partially speaks to the feminism
Mhm.
portion of the tale. Um, the monster is always there, you know, following him and waiting, and that hunt is existential as much as it is physical. So the creature shows up personally, but it leaves that path of death and ruin, depriving, you know, Frankenstein of everything that he loves or could love. It's part of him, it's his creation, and he can't flee even into, you know, the frozen Arctic. um, and then on top of that, I don't know about everyone, but I know a lot of people can sympathetically connect to the monster himself, even
Right.
as terrifying as that concept is. You know, it's tragic, sometimes sometimes it's kind of beautiful in a way, because in the book he says he makes it to be a large, perfect sort of concept of what he believes the ideal for a human would be, like the giant evolution of it. And then he's the creature is only seeking for his creator to recognize him and accept responsibility for him.
And he leaves him the first day in his world. He just like immediately comes to life, and then Frankenstein just runs away.
Yeah, and he doesn't expect that this creature to be brilliant, to be eloquent even, and full of agony, and combined with the ability to express that agony. And his hunt is very personal. It's very intentional, and
Right.
It's weighted with that rejection and the failure. It's not a mindless, pursuit. It's very complex and intentional, with a lot of emotional depth, and that in itself is pretty horrific. He's searching for justice, but and not just stalking Frankenstein for retribution purposes. There's really no terror that's more profound than that one that you can never flee because it's your responsibility. And no, evil that's more horrific than the one that's reflecting your own shortcomings. That's where the concept of look into a mirror, face yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that?
Yeah, it's scarier. It's easier to confront other people than confront yourself a lot of the time.
Yeah, and that's part of what's happening in Frankenstein. And even another good example of that isn't from a horror movie, but or a book. It's from the Neverending Story, where he has to face like the magic mirror gate, and that shows him what he really is, and can he like accept it and go through it and use that. So yeah, there's a lot of layers into Frankenstein that most of the movies and stuff miss. So that book and the Portrait of Dorian Gray are two of the scariest. That was my next one, but you can say a scary one now. Now that I've
no, that
not
was
shut
awesome.
up for
No,
20
that's
minutes.
great. I need to do that. All right. So I'm gonna do. I've listened to a lot of creepypasta narrations, and I'd read some, and there were some that really stuck with me. So one of them that was a huge inspiration for the short film I made was this whistling outside at 3. It was 3 a.m. or something like that, or 3:03. I changed it to 3:37, so it was different. And I changed the characters. It's basically totally different from the original story. But that original story, literally, I think it's to this day the most upvoted story on. So I hate Reddit, but r/no sleep is actually great, because it's just where I might actually put one of my stories on there, to gain traction. I think would be a good idea, and then be like, oh, you want it physical and other stories? Check this out. That's something I'm considering. But if you go to, let me see, top all time.
Ellie said he prefers Young Frankenstein. That's a classic.
I haven't seen that yet. Confession.
You've got, it's a comedy, but it's pretty good.
I know. Here we go. Let's see. Where is it? Something walks whistling by my house every night at 3:03. So this one, amazing.
Wait, did you write that?
I did not.
Isn't
the
that
short
what
story. No, the short story was inspired by it. The film, but this is way better than. Like I'll say it.
Wait,
It's
the short story was inspired by the film, or the film was inspired by the short story?
The film was inspired by the short
Okay.
story. I asked the writer for permission because the assignment for the class that I had filmed that for was it had to be based on something. And so he said, I don't want an adaptation. So I basically changed it. So it's like not even close to the same thing at all. The only thing it has in common is really the whistling. And that's really it. Other than that, the characters are different, the story is different, the themes are pretty different. Like it's just not the same at all. And I would recommend this original story. I think it's amazing. Now another one, Baraska. I did a video on it. Is incredibly disturbing. Baraska right here. And it's just like I can't recommend this story enough. It's a masterpiece. It's like basically, if I were to describe the plot, it doesn't, like, I went in knowing basically nothing. Wendigoon, who I got the chance to meet, Wendigoon had recommended it in a short, and then now he does this podcast called Creepcast, which I was listening to before this, and he was describing this story. And he's just like, it's the scariest thing I've read. I stopped before he even gives a plot synopsis, and I listened to an audio version of it while I was working, while I was driving around, and it is like, by the end of it, it is so chilling. The plot twists and it's like a mystery mixed with horror. It's basically, there's these teenagers that are, it starts off with their children, and then they kind of, you watch them age. And it's basically this boy is dealing with disappearances in his town of young girls keep going missing. And there's these rumors that there's these like monsters called skinned men that are hunting people down. And there's this whole, I don't even want to spoil any of the details, but I can't recommend you read this enough. It's just, it takes so many twists and turns and goes in directions you don't expect. And the ending is just sickening, but it is so well done. So that is probably one of my biggest inspirations too. So yeah, I'd say I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, Baraska. Can't recommend those enough. There are a bunch of other shorts on here, No Sleep, that I could think of, but in terms of ones that have the biggest impact on me, that was it. I think there was one called God, what was it called? I'm trying to think of Paradise, or was it Paradise Pines? Paradise. You could look up an audio version of it. There's this guy on YouTube I listen to called The Dark Somnium. Is it Paradise Pine? Yes, Paradise Pine. Okay. I'm going to post the link to that in the chat. It's great. Naked skinned men? No, they're not naked people hunting people down at night. No. My favorite Reddit weird story thread is one about a random staircase. Oh, Staircase in the Woods. Yeah. The Staircases in the Woods are great. Yeah, Paradise.
I didn't even know that there was this Reddit scary stories thing.
Oh,
this is huge. Beyond my time. I hate Reddit.
I do too, but it's like huge for like writers have gotten careers out of it. From just posting on there and gaining traction. Like Baraska ended up
Netflix careers.
Some of them. Or they've gotten like books that sell out really well on Amazon that like sell super well. Some of them. It's not, I mean, most of them don't go anywhere, but no, it's like yeah, this is at Paradise Pine. I recommend listening to the audio version. There's a couple, the girl that time forgot or something like that was another one. The left right game, that one is amazing. There's so many really good ones. The hidden web page is really good.
Is this like a back rooms thing?
It's in that, I've actually never seen the back rooms, but I met the guy who directed it because he was with Wendigoon. But the back rooms, it's like in that same vein, yeah.
Oh, so is it where like Slender Man came from?
I don't think he came from that. I think he came from something else, Slender Man. But some of these are actually well written. There are, of course, ones that are stupid, like Jeff the Killer. Most of it, like most of anything, most of it will be bad, but you'll get some gems. And there's a lot of gems. There's a lot of good ones.
I don't know. I like holding an actual book. I like real literature.
Baraska is very good. It's very good. I'm just saying.
That was way before Backrooms, is what the chat's saying. Now new writers could get their careers started in Reapers in Pursuit. For real.
Yes.
That would be pretty sick. I would like that.
So
as long as you don't write like Stephen King, then you'll probably do well in this. Because he's a hack, so don't do that.
what's wrong with Stephen King?
Is that rhetorical?
No. What's your problem with Stephen King?
He's a hack.
How?
He just writes the same story over and over again and like snorted cocaine and got lucky.
I've never read
Now he's a piece of shit.
I have to read his stuff, but I mean, look, he wrote a lot of stuff that some of my favorite movies are based on, like The Mist. I don't know why I said The Mist before The Shawshank Redemption. The Shawshank Redemption is my favorite movie.
He's a weird pervert. Okay, the movies are better than his writing. You can't look at them as the same thing.
Okay.
And he is not the reason why any of those movies are good. And also, his son is far more talented than he is. His son wrote Black Phone, and that is probably one of the best, like, scary movies that I have seen in easily a decade. Absolutely brilliant.
I haven't seen the
totally
Black Phone.
Great.
And then Lock and Key, I've heard is good.
His son doesn't go by his dad's name. He says it's because he wants to succeed on his own, but I think it's because he knows that his dad's a hack piece of shit. And Stephen King knows that I think that about him. I told him that.
On Twitter?
Fuck Stephen King. Yeah. Stephen King wrote, directed Creepshow. I thought he just did one of them because he was in one of them. And he's weird too. Like, he's just weird. Weird, you know, like that.
Yeah, I heard the Black Phone is good, but I never saw it.
It's terrible. Black Phone is great. I watched it in theaters 3 times. And then I bought it. The Shining is good, though. Okay, so you guys are saying things that, number one, happened generations ago at this point. And number two, were written when he was on cocaine. He mountains of it. Okay? And it's the same story every time. It's all, even, I like Secret Window, right? But mostly because it's Johnny Depp. There's nothing about Stephen King that is any good outside of the movies. And it's not because of Stephen King. It's because of the movies themselves.
So you're being corrected. He did speed, not coke.
Not coke.
Raiden Radio is countering your point. Tolkien sucks. Hasn't written anything good in decades. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You could argue
he's dead.
All right, yeah, but the point he's overall making is you can't say that just because someone hasn't written anything good in a while doesn't.
Stephen King's written a ton of stuff, but it all sucks. All of it, even his original stuff, still sucks. It was just more exciting because he was on speed. I'm sorry. Yeah, Hill the Lord's right. Don't get me going on about Stephen King. He's fucking fuck you, Stephen King. Right.
All right.
Stephen King. I hate Stephen King as much as I love Anne Rice, and that's a lot.
Anne Rice, yeah, no, she never did horror, right?
I guess it depends on your definition of horror.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. She's
known as a horror writer because she did more than just vampires that are foppish. She also wrote a Mummy sequel. She did some pretty weird stuff with Jesus. She wrote about angels and stuff, but she also wrote about eunuchs as well. Yeah, I guess. Her erotica is pretty horrific. I would call that horrifying.
That's horrifying? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. That's not how she wanted it to be, but it's pretty horrific. He has good
So
horror ideas.
Iron
Says hello, Laura.
Oxide.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, there we go. So Iron Oxide, and for everyone tuning in, so yeah, we do have this horror anthology. Anyone can submit if you want to write, whether you want to do some art in it, whether you want to do a short story or poems, any of that, you can absolutely do.
But it's got to be black and white art.
Got to be black and white art. That's the thing. Yeah, it's got to be black and white art. And I'm excited. I have to just pin down an idea and just write. When you plan out your short stories, or how much do you plan them out? Because the last one I did, I had a feeling and I had like an end point, and I just kind of wrote and let it all
Almost
flow
none.
out. Yeah, I think I want to just do that. I think I want to just like take a break from what I do with my comics, what I've been doing, and try a different form of writing. I really want to challenge.
Do you want to see my planning? How I plan my stories?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Is it green? Is it a green? Ooh. Oh, you do note cards? I sometimes do that.
Yeah, I have a box of note cards that I flip through, and then sometimes I hang them up.
That's awesome. Sometimes
they're scribbled, like it's just scribbles. Ugh.
I'll do Post-it. Sometimes sometimes I do cards. Sometimes what I've been doing a lot lately, like with Phenomenova, what I was doing is doing a bunch of bullet points in an issue and then going through them and then like writing all over a piece of paper, like taking a blank piece of paper and just filling it up with stuff and then kind of moving it together.
Yeah, I don't have any I have very little in the way of planning goes into any of my stuff. So maybe the next Stephen King will be in Reapers in Pursuit. I hope not, because that would mean that we have a shitty writer in Reapers in Pursuit, and I don't want any of that. I want our anthology to have good stuff in it. So
do we have anyone who's interested in submitting?
Do you know who's better than Stephen King in like every single way?
Who?
Dean Koontz. He is a million times better, written more stuff. His stuff is horror, but it also is mystery and also suspense. And he's far more talented. Easily.
I've never heard of him, but I see he's got a lot of stuff written.
He's even better than John Saul, who is has a similar idea, but I can't speak highly enough about Dean Koontz. He's freaking great.
That's awesome. Yeah,
it's not Stephen King is formulaic. He's like, oh, so we're gonna be in Maine, okay, and then there's gonna be a writer, you guys, and the writer is gonna have something crazy happening to him. Like,
so I think you're not a fan of Stephen King.
No, I'm not. But Dean Koontz is great. Read Dean Koontz.
If you've read a Dean Koontz, I didn't care for, he says.
Well, you're wrong.
All right, Iron Oxide likes Dean Koontz.
Yeah, because he's right.
All right, this has been a great turnout, honestly, and it looks like people are excited, which is great. Yeah, I'm excited, right?
6,000 words is quite a large amount. You can, I think it's almost 10 pages, I think, at 12-point font. So that gives you a lot of room to play with. Don't worry too much about editing if you don't want to. With this anthology, me personally, we're both going to edit it. But what I do when I'm editing, usually some other person, and it's like proofreading style editing and copy editing, which is what this is going to be, is like a proofreading style. I like to preserve the author's voice. So I'll just do like, I don't know about you, but I would just do, the grammar and all that stuff that is pretty standard, and then I will send it back to the writer if there's if it's obvious that this is how a character talks. You know,
Right.
I'll keep that kind of thing. So don't get too, scared to not like make it polished, but don't get too caught up in making it perfect. We'll make it perfect. I'm gonna format it, and we'll put it together in this cool anthology. I was in one anthology that is flash fiction, but there were 104 authors in it. And then just recently, I was in one by Quiet Red, and I wrote for that, and I did the editing and the formatting for the inside and the cover. So you can, and if I do say so myself, it looks beautiful. So you can trust that when it's done, it's going to look amazing. I don't know what 187 is.
He's saying Google says 18.7 pages equals 6,000 words. Is that true?
18?
Oh. Yeah. He says, 12 font, 12 pages. Okay. Is it 12
I was
pages?
going to say.
I don't know. Which Dean Koontz book would you recommend to a new reader?
Probably Door to December.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend. It's about the this little girl who gets like tortured basically by her dad into developing like these crazy powers and stuff. That's really good. Then Intensity is probably my favorite Dean Koontz book of all time. And Strange Highways, actually. I would recommend Strange Highways because that's a series of short stories that he wrote, and each one is different and each one is super good. You should list publishing format on the site for candidates to consider. I mean, it's going to be in a book. Like, we're going to print it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a
I'd
French
love to
book.
do a hardcover, but obviously we could do paperback too. We'll figure that out. A lot of this stuff we'll figure out. One of the things I like about our approach is we were just kind of like lining up the stuff. How much do we need to have figured out? We know Ali and I have stuff to figure out in the publishing end, but let's figure out a lot of the work and how we're going to do things. And then once we're ready, let's go. And then while we're kind of figuring that out and writing our own or whatever, people can do it. This should be an easy one to put together, I think, compared to some other stuff.
I think it will be. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably gonna be kind of similar to this.
In terms of size?
Regular book. I mean, ish. It doesn't have to be exactly that, but to give people an idea, it's gonna be a book. Like, this isn't gonna be like a little 25-page thing.
No. I want it to be a full...
It's probably going to be a couple hundred pages. Like, that's the idea.
Which is
the
exciting.
Quiet Red one itself is 230 pages, I think. So you're going to get a lot in it. That's the idea. So, and this book that I'm showing is one of the ones that I was in, but because of my screen, it's hard to tell. Yeah, there we go. So,
and we want to make sure, every story that we get in is something Ali and I like, something that we both think is well written. And I think we've got so many talented writers that we have access to, and more we can reach out to. I think you're guaranteed to get a good story. And if you don't like one story, you'll definitely like another or another or another or another.
And then there's the artwork that we're hoping that people will do, because we know that a lot of you are artists, obviously, and a lot of you are people who read books with pictures. So we don't want to leave you guys out. It's not really that much of a price difference to add in a black and white, line art. So
absolutely,
that's why, and yeah, share it everywhere.
And share the
poorly designed open submissions.
And also join the mailing list. I'm going to put this in. Just put your email in. I will fix the mailing list page so it looks less garish. But yeah,
So
join the
you're
mail
no longer weeping when you look at it, weeping blood tears.
because it
Black
looked
and white image so you can color them. I mean, if you want to color in the book, you can, but we're gonna print it black and white.
Yeah.
So
what you do with your own art
those
is up
old,
to you.
yeah, those old like vintage trade paperbacks, some of them would have, you know, black and white line art in them. I have a whole bunch of those, the kinds that had like Frank Frazetta paintings on the front. A lot of those were fantasy, but like I have a whole bunch of those, and that's sort of the idea that we're going for, is this like cool vintage like horror kind of feel. And um the somebody said you can read it on Valentine's Day. No, that's just the deadline for submission. So
Yeah.
I chose Valentine's Day so that it was easy to remember, but also to give people time, because I know not everyone is a super fast writer.
Yeah.
For some reason. So that's why it's quite far. And then there's a lot of holidays in between now and then. So some people will go, you know, a week or so without being able to write anything. So vintage horror would be a good theme. I mean, you can fit the vintage style into this. My my story that I wrote for Quiet Red's anthology, which I believe is launched, I wrote very purposely in a very archaic form, where I was kind of trying to not emulate, but to pay homage to like Edgar Allan Poe. I can never be that, but like that was the idea. So the style that I've written for my story in that is that old school, like very, very kind of higher literature style. So but you can do whatever style you want. Like that's our goal. That's why it's open submissions and not us like whispering to our friends, because between us we both have tons of people that we could just hit up.
Yeah, we could easily fill a collection like that, which is why we might I'll message people and be like, yeah, if you want to submit, you can, you know, but we'll but we
it's
want it to be
open.
open. Yeah.
Everyone gets a fair chance, even Narwhal.
What do you mean? What am I? Is there some hidden lore with Narwhal? I'll take that as a yes. All
right. That's all. But no, he's fine. If you just whatever horror you want, as long as it fits in that theme, you know, of pursuit, stalking, inevitability, the thing that will catch you. Will someone get away? Will they not get away? And we'll both. It'll go through both of us. We each have different things that we like.
Yeah.
I do not hate everybody, Ellie. That's just silly. The Chuck Palahniuk of horror, VC, give me a break. Narwhal, shut up. Anyway, Vaughn is trying to blind you. He promises that he's gonna change it, right?
I'll do it right now on air.
Change it to a not like.
Should I just make it white?
Not white, but like not red. You know, like
black.
It literally is scraping your eyeballs. Like I don't know why you. That's the real horror.
Because it was blood. It never mind. It doesn't matter my explanation. I made a mistake and I'm sorry.
Looks like we gotta tell Narwhal he's not allowed. No, he's allowed. But I'm editing his story. If he like everyone is allowed to submit. That's my point. And it's horror on between 1,000 and 6,000 words. If you want to, you can play with that number. It's not super fixed. Less than 50 lines of a poem if you want to write a poem, or black and white line art that fits that theme as well. Open submissions. this doesn't happen often. And then afterward, once we have covered printing and the word just left my head, shipping and all that stuff, once we've covered and fees from crowdfunding and everything, once we've covered that, then everyone who has submitted gets a percentage. So this isn't just, you know, us profiting off of other people. Like you're going to get something from this too that's more than just what's the stupid thing everyone says that's the meme?
I know what you're talking about.
Exposure. You're not just paid an exposure.
Paying you an exposure, kid. No, you're.
What happens if Vaughn approves of a story but disapproves? Does a writer need 2 approvals to get in? No, it doesn't have to be approved by both of us. I don't
You don't think so? I thought that was one of the deals. Was we have to both say, because how is that going to work? Like if I'm like, I'm not. What if I'm like, because we don't have to necessarily both like it, but we both have to approve of it being.
I mean, okay.
Because it can't be like if I'm like, I don't want to publish this. This is messed up stuff. You know, or
okay, if it's too messed up,
well, we'll have a council meeting.
Yeah, we'll have a council.
All right.
The dreaming. What looks?
I think I did slightly. I changed it so it's not red anymore. Now it's
good.
A black background with white text.
Better. Ellie says that I hated him for a time. How sweet the bitterness. I don't remember that. Why did I hate you? I'm worried about Ellie and Vaughn butting heads. Why?
Yeah, we're fine. We're chilling. We're chilling.
Butting heads, like he's like, Allie, I really like the story, and I'll just be like, no, grr, let's fight. Like,
I'm not. Well, that's not. I can't hit a woman. It's not fair.
Oh my god.
There are social repercussions.
Equal rights and equal lefts, right, boys? Anyway, because Vaughn likes to push people's buttons. He doesn't know how to push people's buttons. He is the button. That's what he brings to the table. He is the button. What's not fair? What are you talking about, Dale? I'm really curious as to why Ellie thinks that I hated him. Did I? I don't know. If I did, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I guess. I goofed on a video review you did only because you made it sound too corporate, like it was the sin of purple prose. Why would that make me hate you? Which review was it?
All right, I think
was it a review of a movie or a review of a book?
All right, what do you think, Allie? Ready? New reveal. Let's go.
Huh?
Boom. It's better.
Oh, that is better. Thank
there we
you.
Go.
Our brains and eyes, thank you.
Sign up. Make sure you sign up for the mailing list. Oh, I'll make the button red. Back on the computer.
It was last year, you don't remember. I mean, that's fine. I don't do very many reviews. That's why I'm confused. Like, I did do one about The Handmaid's Tale. Because it's, like, overrated and feminists use it as propaganda bait. Even though it's a very anti-feminist book. They try and twist it. I think because they never read it. I think most of these bitches have like a fetish for it, honestly. Because it's a book. Like, it's fine. It's not the greatest book even ever written, you know, but it's fine. It's for women. It's absolutely a women's book. I don't know why a man would read it without like being told in high school that they have to. It was some corporate speak video you did. Maybe it was for your day job. I don't have a day job. This is it. I have I have seizures. I can't drive. I don't have a day job. Are you sure you're talking about me? Corporate speak. What's he talking about? Master Hobo says, about time, Vaughn. My eyes feel so much better now.
Yeah, I fixed it, boys.
Water under the bridge. Corporate speak. I mean, I have a whole bunch of like writing hacks videos that I've done. I don't think those are corporate though.
Let's see how many people we've got in our audience tonight.
I genuinely think that I have good ideas for how people can hack writing, as it were.
We have one sign up.
Thank you, one person. You rock.
Come on, none of you guys are interested in being.
Well, submit, but okay, submit your stuff.
Yeah.
Sign up, and then also share this around to artists and to writers. Because like it's totally open. Apparently, Vaughn scares violent.
What about you? What about you is on? What about me is on sale?
Maybe it's your lips.
My big ass lips.
DSL.
Listen, women like my big lips. All right. My I don't have big
Violent
lips.
Comics says JK. Nice.
I have big lips. Normal, small lips.
Are you like trying to suck them back in? Because that's disturbing.
Yeah.
Do that thing that like female influencers on TikTok do, where they take glue and then they put glue right there, and then they like do that so they look twice as big.
Dude, look how. See, I got big lips. See, they're big.
What are you doing?
I don't know. My bad. I forgot to sign up for my list. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to join this mailing list and be.
You're such a fucking dweeb.
No, I'm not. I'm very cool. I'm too cool. I'm too cool for school.
Go, God, sign up. I'm sorry. I promised myself that I wouldn't pick on you too much.
That you promise that every time you always still. Vaughn came out of a black woman. That is not true. My mother is white. My mother is a third white woman. I
think he's posted pictures of her.
Yeah, where did you go to film school? Emerson College in Boston.
Boston. Don't you live in Jersey?
I do live in New Jersey, yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's not that bad. But I do want to leave. I don't know where I want to go, but I've spent a lot of time here.
There's one reason why I wouldn't live in Jersey. And everyone knows what it is.
What is it?
Never mind. This is why Creative Block bullies you. I don't think they bully him. When was the last time that they talked about him? I don't even think so.
No, they don't. Anyway, I don't get on that show anymore. But
go and do. Neither do I. Go and do this. He's super proud of his mailing list. He was very insistent upon it. I said that we could just cull from our existing mailing list, but he is. I'm gonna admit that he's like pretty good at marketing, and I freaking suck at it. So that can be what he's in charge of. And then I'll do the thing that I'm really good at. So
yeah, you'll do the format, because that was one of the things that was good. Is Allie has actually done books before. I haven't. So because like with the comics, I had to obviously learn the whole process. So to have someone be there who's like, I got this, super helpful,
super easy, barely an inconvenience. I love doing it. Actually, it's so tedious, and I have a thing about tedium that I really enjoy. So I'm very excited.
And I love promoting. I mean, obviously, it does cut into time I spend writing, but I do like promoting and I do like networking. So this is a fun opportunity for me too. And it's a chance for me to expand my audience.
What else are we doing? Our lives are you, Chad. This is it. This is totally what we are. This box that we're in that you're seeing us. This is real life.
Again, please signify that it's a book, not it is a book. It's a big boy book.
Yeah, it's a prose novel that will have pictures inside it. That's and I know Vaughn wants me to do some art for it, and I might.
If you want to.
But
what about Dean James? Is Dean James participating in this?
Oh, I don't know.
He likes spooky stuff. He's good at drawing spooky stuff.
He likes me. I'm spooky.
Well, he also likes drawing spooky stuff.
Yeah, that's true. He did a pretty good egg beater twice. He twice.
I didn't know he didn't know.
I don't know. Obviously, he can. Like,
he did some stuff for Dark Gift too. I was hanging out with Dark Gift. Last weekend.
He got paid to do Lightbringer. He's pretty busy with the Embrace too, though. So
it's good. Yeah.
It depends. If he does, it'll just be like because he's bored and he feels like doing something else. So I don't know. He hasn't said. If he did, that would be great. But like I said, it's open to anybody. You know, if you have even like a 16-year-old cousin who's like super good at drawing something, like,
yeah,
you know, we're gonna. I think we can both agree that we're gonna draw the line at like straight up corn.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of publishing that. I think full on. If you have a sex scene, I guess it would have to depend on the context.
I mean, like for the artwork.
Oh, for the artwork, yeah. For the artwork, yeah. Don't.
And you know what we mean when we say that. So.
Oh, we should clarify. This is, I imagine. I guess we never talked about this, but I imagine this is like a mature, like this is for adults, young adults, whatever.
Yeah, this isn't Goosebumps. This is like grown up.
This is not all ages. This book. But the artwork, like, are we allowing nudity? I guess we never talked about that.
Like, what I would say yes to nudity, but not like corn nudity. And you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. No one pretend that you don't. Yeah. Don't send in personal photos, VC. Thank you. Will Vaughn do some art in this book? I don't know.
I don't think you want my art, and I don't think I want my art in this book. To be honest with you, I think it would decrease the value of the book.
I don't know if I will. It'll depend on if I don't know. I suck. So
let's go together. Now that Mommy Milkers story, you know, maybe I could do a story about the Mommy Milkers. All right, I don't have to. It sounds like that's already.
It's just that my chat wanted me to say that, and I refused to say it. And then they did, but I'm monetized, so somebody did a paid chat where they wrote out different words, and I'm an idiot, so I read it out loud, and then immediately realized it, and everyone thought it was so funny. That's the story. That's it.
Wait, what do you clipping? Mommy, the Mommy Milkers.
I'm canceling this book. It was really fun while we were considering doing it.
Dude, that should be the name of the Mommy Milkers. It's just the curse.
Yeah, go ahead. Write it. I fucking dare you.
The curse of Mamil. That way only we would understand the original intent.
I dare you to write that and make it good. If you can, then congratulations.
I don't think so. I think that's a waste of my
time. I meant
talent.
the collective you, like anyone watching. I dare you to write that and make it good to me. I have quite high standards.
All right, so what would it take?
Good, we will put it in there.
What would it take to? What would be a good example of ways to use Mommy Milkers in a horror setting in a way that's deep?
I'm not gonna do the work for you.
All right, so here's my idea. Ready? Here we go. So this is a grown man who, it's a tragic tale about a man who is unable to grow up because he literally needs mommy's milk to survive. And so he has to, even as a
Wait, I'm
grown
gonna
man.
stop. Wait, I'm gonna stop you because I feel like you're projecting, and that's
No, I'm
dangerous.
not. That's disgusting. This is a horrifying scenario. This is a horrifying scenario that I wouldn't want to live. But this guy, he can't go 5 minutes without mommy's milk. It's a horror scenario. I think that would be a terrible scenario for anyone to live in. Truly terrifying. And the Reaper in this context would be freedom in a sense, because if he if he gets too far away, and the mom wants to kill him because she's sick of this shit, so she's also the Reaper.
You're not really giving me any faith in your writing abilities right now.
This is me scraping the bottom of the barrel.
That is a barrel for sure that has been scraped.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna write this story.
Yeah, see, Ronald agrees with me. Vaughn's projecting
Ronald's
again.
not even real. I know it's your real Ronald, you should submit something. Ronald. You know, Ronald here made Vaughn Coleman shirts when we were in high school, and he sold them to people. And they wore them. I still have mine. I still have mine.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Shut up, Vaughn. You're not real.
I am
Ronald.
real. All right. So I actually, so I have actual good ideas.
Hail the Lore says I've written crazy shit and he doesn't want to hear it. Yeah, but at least I wrote it well. This is just weird. The way that you're talking, it's like watching season 3 of The Boys. Like,
oh, The Boys. I hate The Boys.
Very specifically season 3, episode 1. If you know, you know.
Wait, hang on. What happens
in episode
1?
What do you mean what happens in episode 1? I'm scarred for life.
Oh, wait. Is
Horrific.
This
Disgusting.
Oh, yeah. I hated that.
It was just there to be shocking.
The Boys is edgelord cringe. It's like everyone's like, it's really actually a good commentary. It's like, no, it's like a Redditor's fantasy, dude.
Season 1 was mildly interesting and it had like funny parts, but then season 2 they're just like and it just keeps going and going. And then they killed off the only interesting person in season 2, or was it 3? I don't know. The soldier boy or whatever. He was the only interesting character in that whole thing, and they're just like, oh nope, dead for no reason because we're so random. Stupid.
I haven't read the comics. I've read only the first issue.
If I get Reapers in Pursuit, will it come with the legendary Vaughn Coleman card?
What are you talking about? That's not a real card. We're not talking about that.
I feel like you're lying.
There's no such thing.
You're not as good as lying.
Oh, no, sure, not.
What's the card, Vaughn?
All right. Here we go. So my trading card, the guy who designed the art for my trading cards. Sorry, I'm still laughing. All right. Let me see if I can find
Allie's stories be having babies getting drop kicked out of windows levels of crazy. I have never written a single story wherein that occurs, Hail the Lore, and I am offended that you think that that's what I would write about.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, honestly.
That happened in real life.
That's what happened? Funny. What happened?
Babies getting kicked out of windows and stuff. Why do I write about that? Read my book, The Rotting Crown. In unrelated news. If you go to my website, sanguislibris.net, I have free previews of my dark fantasy novel, The Rotting Crown.
It's not done yet?
I think that's what Hail the Lore is talking about. It's pretty close to being done, but it's my baby, so it needs to be perfectly polished. I've been writing it since I was like 13.
Damn, so you never finished it?
It's gone through a lot and it's almost done. I basically had to rewrite everything and start all over again to make it better for like grown-up reading. See, Allie is great at promoting. Yeah, I effortlessly slid over after you were like, Allie's writing is too scary. No, dude. So my book, Wild Men, has scared grown men. Like, grown men have told me that Wild Men is too scary for them to read and they have to put it down to finish it.
I need to finish it still. I'm gonna order the copy soon and read it. I read like half of it. I really did like it, but I think I'm gonna start from the beginning. I think and finish. I was reading it on the plane, and then this child would not stop screaming, and it really was annoying.
The child was probably scared too.
I didn't get to like this because I didn't get to like the scary parts.
It's psychological. Wild Men is psychological horror. It's an anti-feminist allegory, really. Hook up Vaughn with some books. He wouldn't read them.
I would. I read your stuff.
Ellie says he thinks he's got something. Send him a contract. So go to the submissions form and we'll read it. If we like it, then we'll do the contract because we have to do some math basically and decide on the percentage that we'll be able to send out. So,
which is going to depend on like the amount of submissions, the amount we accept, the amount of art, all of that will be a factor. So get those in.
And how much, this is very important, and how much shipping costs are.
Yes.
Because in next month, USPS is increasing shipping costs again, by the way, just so everyone knows.
I'm shipping out next month. Oh my god.
Yeah, you have to stay on top of that. Pirate Ship is what I'm going to use for my comic Egg Beater probably because that's where I've seen the best deals. But like shipping is where it will definitely kill you if you're crowdfunding. So I just want everyone to know that shipping is going to be like probably the biggest tilt thing. And I'm going to probably kind of solve for that when it comes to my portion, but medium mail, no. That's your boy Zach stuff. That's small potatoes. No. So I wouldn't do medium mail. Medium mail has too many freaking what's it called? Too many things that you have to worry about. Oops. We haven't talked about fulfillment, but I would be okay with doing fulfillment myself. I've been doing fulfillment of my own merchandise and books for 7 years now. And I have a lot of time on my hands because I never leave my house. So, and then I have like the little printer and everything. I got that. So, probably, unless we get a whole lot and it's too overwhelming, I'm more than happy to do all the fulfillment as well as the editing and the formatting. Like, that's fine. Vaughn, I think, has like a real people job for grown-ups outside his house. So,
well, I'm working on that.
But I thought you did.
Well, not at the moment, but I'm working getting a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vaughn's job now is getting a real people job.
Yeah, and we're working on this
his house
and getting Phenomenova. I'd love to eventually go back to doing this full time. You know, I would. This is, I think, another step in getting my name out there.
Yeah, my life is set up in such a way where I can just be home and do all the things that I need to do from home. So he's applying at a dairy.
No, I am not. I am not.
The channel lore is now evolving and relocating, which is good. I like that. So yeah, again, open submissions, open call for submissions. Share this around with anybody that you know, as long as they know that it's, you know, for grown-ups and no like straight up corn. Again, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. So
We should. We'll
Yeah.
have a logo or something too. We should get it at some point. But in the meantime, yeah, Reapers some kind of graphic to promote the book. I think is nice. We'll figure that out.
Well, you haven't shown the thing that I made.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
made a
That's right.
thing.
That's right. Let me go ahead and share that, and I'll share that out tomorrow or you could share it out tomorrow on Twitter. Whatever. Either way, we'll both retweet it. I'll make a short tomorrow promoting. We'll get it out there. Let me go ahead and go through let's find our DMs.
I made a thing. My hair is black and my shirt is black, so it makes it look like I have like a hood on.
Yeah, I really like this
This
short
is
that you
weird.
did, or this little promo. What the hell is? All right. Okay, hold on.
Time scales. I like your name. You can't see it because I have this background, but I actually have a scale of justice back there.
He's
on my
one of those people that's on the
thing.
spreadsheet I sent you. He's a great
Oh,
guy.
no. Oh, okay. Cool. Let me on your show so I can talk about my books.
Yeah, definitely recommend Allie.
I'm very not awkward on stream.
You promoting yourself is you don't say that. You just go, have me on. I'm great.
I'm so awesome.
I'm trying to think of a way to do this where it's is there a way to open this video in another tab?
I will do it so
Okay.
you don't have to share DMs because I
mean,
know
I don't really
exactly
have
why you're asking that.
I don't think I have anything like to hide exactly. But
yeah, but it's people don't like it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it because then I can just open it and it won't be in DMs.
We were talking
to do
about
this full time so we can get more books from him.
Me too, man. Me too.
I hope I can too.
Yeah. I would love to. I have so many ideas, but this is a great way to just get ideas out there. And who knows, maybe some of my short stories here will be stuff where I'm like, hey, I want to do more with that. But I'm not, I don't know if I want to do, I definitely want to write these because I have longer form horror ideas. I definitely want these to be self-contained short stories, not like, haha, this is an advertisement for something else. If I write a story and then later on I'm like, oh, I could do more with this, that's fine. But I want it to be a and that's what I urge. Don't be like, haha, I'm really doing this to promote my own. Give us a full story. Here we go.
Hail the Lord says Allie is very polite on streams. I can be. All right. Yeah, I made this. Enjoy.
There's no audio.
There's no audio.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll reshare it, I guess. And click share audio. To share audio. Oh. I'll have to share my whole screen to share audio, so hold on. Entire screen. Share audio. All right, are you ready?
Let's do it. And then send me the file of this so I could use it on as an outro or intro for streams though. And
okay.
We'll share it in Facebook. We'll share it in Facebook groups. We'll share it everywhere we can. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. Just a little graphic thing that I made.
I like it. Yeah, guys, everyone make sure you submit. And I'm really hoping to see some really cool stuff. I know I will. I'm excited to see who turns out for this. I think we'll now that we've gotten the people that are in the stream that have gotten the announcement, that's great. Let's get more people on board with this. This is something when you told it was something I was really excited to just jump right into. And yeah, anything else you want to say? I know it's kind of late.
I'm gonna go watch Smile now.
Oh, let me know how it is. I've heard it's great. You're starting a movie this time?
Yeah. I don't sleep.
I sleep too much. It's a problem.
That's a cool graphic, Ellie. Thank you. I used Canva. Ellie says he thinks he's got something already that will like awesome. Very
Oh yeah,
excited
he's good. I
to
got to
read
do.
everybody's stuff. It's gonna be fun.
I edited his book, which is very comedic. So I'm really interesting to see what he does in terms of horror. I find that honestly, there's a weird overlap. Like a lot of writers who can do comedy can also do horror pretty well. I think
We have
pacing
a
is
darkness within us.
yes.
That's
Smile.
why Egg Beater is such a genius idea.
Yeah. Smile 2 is coming out. Oh, cool. I've never seen.
That's why I'm gonna watch the first one.
When is the second one coming out?
I think it's out this month.
Oh shit! Am I racist? I didn't get to see in theaters. I missed it. I want to. All right, yeah.
I want to see that too, but that's not a horror movie unless you count like the horrors of reality and idiocy. Then it is kind of scary.
Gotcha. All right, Smile. Let's see. Message people about book. Sorry, Mary.
He has like action lists.
Dude, this is what I do. Like it's like my to-do list for tomorrow is physically impossible for me to do everything tomorrow. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is start going through and going, okay, what can I get done? What can I get done? And the problem is I give myself too much to do every day. And then every day I'm like, I didn't get to anything. And it's like, I actually objectively did a lot, but I give myself too much to do, but anyway.
I live life on the edge without to-do lists 98% of the time.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't do that.
No, I think it's working for you.
Sometimes.
You and Rainy both kind of do that, and I think it's working for you. I probably should. Yet I do not. Because partially, if I
could believe Rainy does that too.
I know 100% that I won't get to most of the things on it. And what'll happen is I'll stare at it and just like castigate myself for it. And it'll do nothing to bolster my ego, which is what I live for.
You look at how much stuff is already on here.
Yeah, no. I mean, I have. Do you know what I use my?
And I just added more.
Do you know what I use my? What are these called again?
Post-its.
Post-it. You know what I use my post-it notes for?
What? Wow, incredible. Incredible.
It's all water damage. Amazing.
I get that from my mom has Post-its everywhere. I have Post-its everywhere. But I'm excited. This is thank you so much for doing this with me. This is really something that I'm fun. That I'm gonna have fun with.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun too.
I wonder if because I'm wondering if I should do a story called Reapers in Pursuit, or if someone wants to.
I don't
know.
I'm not gonna do that.
No. I'm wondering if there should be one, but if I have a better idea than Reapers in Pursuit, I probably won't be like, well, just to have it. You know what? If someone else thinks of a story called that,
well, so the idea is that we can use our IP for future anthologies in different themes, just like the same initials every time.
RIP, yeah.
So, and that way everyone who is an author in it, or an artist, we can put their names on a gravestone. Like that was the idea that I took.
I remember when you told me that. I thought it was cool. All right.
So I'm not cool, but my ideas are cool, yo. Word up.
Word up. That's right. You tell them. All right.
No diggity.
What?
No diggity.
All right. Well, thank you. Anything else you want to say before we head out?
Go buy my book and check out my website.
Right. Buy her book and check it. Oh wait, do I have the link?
I mean, I can put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the private chat, and then I'll share it. And I will get Wildman.
You've been saying that for like 4 months.
I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna order it now. I'm gonna order it now while we're on here. Where the fuck is my wallet? All right, while you do that, I'm gonna grab my wallet. So that way I'm held accountable on air.
Hold him accountable. So he's not a liar. I'm getting the link for my book Wildman, which is now in awesome hardcover form. Beautifully done. If I do say so myself, I did it. Getting the link. I cannot see the chat. This is on my channel, so I feel awkward. Pushing the link into the private chat. I have a brain and I'm using it. I'm so sorry. What's Wildman about? Wildman is an anti-feminist allegory fantasy about a wild man who is searching through the wilderness to find the meaning of life, the meaning of love, and loss. It's pretty. It has a lot of nature imagery. Very cool. Very dark. Apparently, I didn't realize that it was as dark as it is until I was reading it to my dying father in a cancer ward, and then I was like, "Wow, this is quite dark. Why did I write this?" And I even asked my dad, I was like, Dad, do you really want me to finish reading this? And he was like, yeah. And so I did. But it's quite dark. And then when Will Perdomo read it, he said that he was so afraid he had to put it down for 2 weeks. So, yeah. Allie grew up on the mean streets, yo. That's not even a joke. Vaughn probably doesn't want me to get into it because it depresses people, but like for real.
No, you can always say whatever. You know.
Oh, just like raised in meth houses. That's me. That's
I'm
all.
sorry. No,
Everybody already knows it. Don't. It was your fault. I am the homegirl. Hail the lore. That's true. The homie G girl. OG in the house. Right here. This is me trying to be like totally with it, yo. Maromi sharing my website. I just today have put new free previews from the Rotting Crown on there. The artwork for the Rotting Crown, by the way, was done by Dean James. And then I am also going to be launching for Egg Beater on the final campaign on Fund My Comic with a new like simplistic cover, minimalist cover. There we go. Pretty soon here. So, yeah. Link didn't work for Wildman.
Really? I just clicked on it.
It should work. It's the one on my Twitter. I guess I could share the long one. Let's see. Share. No, I can't. It doesn't do that.
All right, I just placed the order for Wildman.
I don't believe you.
Go ahead, check.
There's one in my shop manager. Let's see.
Don't dox me.
I'm gonna dox you.
Oh, you already
Guys,
have my...
did you know his name is Von Coleman?
You're not supposed to tell people that. Shut the fuck up.
What is... Oh. You did order it. Thank you. Ronald called you a simp.
for buying stuff.
For
Mhm.
buying my book that I worked really hard on and has nothing to do with OnlyFans, that's not simping. It's not the same.
Well,
as
supporting
simping.
supporting a book from supporting a female creator in any capacity, even if they're your friend, is simping on the internet. Because I learned that.
Right. Well, it's a really good book, and you should buy it. You don't have to tell anyone if you're afraid of people calling you a simp.
I just said it on the internet. So.
Oh, the Fundiverse link. Yeah. The reason the Fundiverse link doesn't work is because I shut off the Fundiverse campaign. Because basically no one was seeing it, and I don't think that that website is gonna work very well. So now it's just through my Etsy. The Vaughn I would know would never associate with women.
That's shut the fuck up.
I'm just
God damn.
I'm being really good.
No, you're not.
There are things I could say that I'm not, because I'm being a good friend right now.
Vaughn is a Tifa simp, so he admits to simping for someone.
Fake person.
A fake woman. Well, fake women are better than real women.
That's not really simping. That's just being a fan.
Sure.
It's not really the same. Unless Tifa is like the name of some Twitch streamer you like,
it's
or
not.
something.
I don't watch. I don't really watch Twitch, honestly.
Okay. I was just trying to like relate to the youth by saying that. I don't know.
What's up, my fellow youngins?
Yeah, how you do, fellow kids? That's me.
All right, so there we go.
Totally blending in.
So we got Sanguis Libris right here.
Oh yeah. There's Wildman. You can click it. And then up there on the Rotting Crown, if you go there, that's got free previews, characters, the magic system, all that cool stuff if you're into that kind of stuff. That's also prose, but I'm putting together an art book to go with it eventually. I have other books up there too. I have all sorts of stuff. I have some like Viking mythology books. I've been in anthologies. Obviously, there's editing services and formatting if you need that. I have some of my crappy artwork because people said they liked it. All sorts of things. So, yeah, I worked really hard on this, and Rainey helped me make it. So, go check that out. Get into it. It's pretty friggin' sick, if I do say so myself. It's the kind of book that I would want to read. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm adding stuff to it almost every day.
Good stuff. I'm excited to check it out.
And again, that artwork is by Dean James. That's traditionally drawn artwork. So
sounds good. I'm excited to eventually like hit the convention because this seems like a fun one. I love like collaborative stuff. This would be like a fun one to take around and get signed by people. I feel like we get enough people at a con.
Yeah, you could absolutely do a thing if you're that kind of person where you go around and you try and get it all signed by every collaborator. That would be cool. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think but we'll plan out conventions next year. I've been so busy trying to get my book done. Maybe sometime this month or next month, get a group together and just, I don't know, figure that out. But
the end of the year is always so busy that it's like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because it's like almost like you're like, oh my god, I didn't get this. But anyway, we'll figure it.
Boat convention. You will not catch me dead on a cruise ship.
Why not?
Because that's when it will sink. And I don't like that. I can't swim.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well,
all right.
We all went swimming, but it was the kind of pool where you can stand in it even if you're short like me. So what you saw was not me swimming.
I wasn't analyzing your swimming patterns. I was just in the pool.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like, when we all went swimming, I wasn't really swimming. So yeah, now everyone knows I can't swim, and I never learned, and maybe I never will because I don't see the point.
Gotcha.
So no cruise boats. But I do want to start going to conventions, especially when Egg Beater's done. That's moving along quite nicely.
Yeah. We'll figure
I'll
something
be going when Dean gets here, I'll be going with him to do the Embrace stuff. So that'll be cool.
Awesome. We'll get in contact with him. We'll figure it out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's really been great. Sub to Allie's channel if you haven't already. She does great stuff on there. Let's see, let me make sure. Allie Sanguis. Let's make sure.
Make sure that it's great stuff.
No, make sure that it's that you guys sub. I'm posting that right here. Yeah, I know. LA Comic Con, I'm gonna try and make it out to. I'm gonna be at New York Comic Con, so if anyone else is gonna be there, definitely check it out. I'll be there working half days with Michael Golden. The other half days I'll be walking around, hanging out with people, getting stuff signed, getting artwork, whatever I decide to do, hanging out with friends. That's what I'll be doing. So
yeah, you won't catch me in LA Comic Con or not, but enjoy that. Have fun.
Well, I was talking about New York, but yeah, LA, yeah.
Or New York.
I get it.
Those are two places I will probably never go.
Sounds good.
But enjoy yourselves.
I will.
Have fun.
With
Bring
that,
a gun.
into the convention center, I don't think that's allowed. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I'm going to play this in the outro. Any last thing you want to say?
Thank you very much for being an awesome chat and helping me pick on Vaughn, but not too much.
All right. Thank you so much. This has been a fun night, Allie. It's been great talking to you. I'm looking forward to working with you on this stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Let's play this as we head out. I think this is fitting.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. A spooky